Welcome everyone to Off Mic Comedy School. Would love to present Rising Stand-Up Stars, featuring Guerrero as the instructor. This is a graduation showcase of the 101 stand-up class. Off Mic Comedy School is so glad to have with us this evening our amazing students, Kyle from work, Tristan Webster, Pam Selly, Benjamin Hamilton, Emilia Maia, Samuel Rubin, Katie Hewko-Dykes, and our musical guest this evening, Jillian Markowitz. Of course, we will be featuring our amazing instructor, Guerrero, and I am Jay Ellis, or Jealous. Off Mic Comedy School is the nation's first all-virtual comedy school, offering a myriad of classes from stand-up to sketch to improv, focusing on specific details such as crowd work and other workshops like how to produce your own virtual show. We also offer youth offerings as well. It has been pioneered by an amazing group of artists, including our amazing tech host this evening, Christine Olivas. So we are so pumped to have all of y'all with us today. We do want to go over a few housekeeping notes as we get started. So this show is best viewed in a virtual format on a laptop. We highly encourage everyone to stay on video and unmuted. But if you have a lot of people in the background, if Auntie and them is over and you know they cooking and smoking in the kitchen, we may want, great example, Bunny Brown, we may want to mute because we have a lot going on. But what we do want to hear is your wonderful laughter when it's time for that. So please, feel free to laugh as much as possible, to cheer as loud as you can, but do it at the right time or I'm gonna mute that ass. I got the power. Okay. Also, we want to encourage everyone to use the chat box. I will be chatting in there so much with y'all and reminding everyone of the amazing things that we're hearing and talking about. So be active. Don't have me in there talking to myself. Again, if we have a little bit of a loud background, we're going to mute. We're going to stay muted. Also, we want to make sure that if we are using a phone or we are using a laptop, an iPad or a tablet, and we are unmuted, please have that set to airplane mode or do not disturb so that we won't get your ringer or your notifications in the middle of anyone's set. And I still don't see any cameras turned on. I said, let me see them faces. Okay, I see you guys in there. Yo, this is beautiful. Your faces and your smiles make everything that we're doing tonight worth it. Even if your smile is a little bit rough, it still makes us happy. All right. So without further ado, let's talk about a gentleman who has an award-winning smile. And if he keeps showing it on TikTok, ICE is going to come grab his ass any day now. Guerrero. Has spent 12 years tackling race, marriage, and work throughout the stand-up community. He's been on BET. He's been featured all over the country. But tonight we want to focus on the amazing educational work this gentleman has done. Not only has he taught multiple classes here at Off Mic, but he also taught our founder, Christine Olivas, her first 101 class. So this is no stranger to stand up and no stranger to getting your stand up together. Without further ado, I'm going to get out the way because they're going to be deporting him as soon as we get done with this streaming and give it to my man, Shay. Take it away, brother.
Hey, thank you so much. Keep it going for Jay Ellis. That was awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna be your host for tonight. And please give, before we start all this, please give a big round of applause to all your friends and family that everybody's coming out to support. It's incredible, you know. During all the craziness of the world, you know, they decided to take a leap of faith and go after something that they've always wanted to do. So I commend them for that. So that's great that they're doing that. I'm Che. I'm going to be the host. I'm going to bring up people, back and forth. But let's get into some stand-up, man. I haven't done some stand-up for some people in a while. 2021 has been crazy. I understand that. You know, I watch the news a lot. But one of the bright spots is that I live in Jersey, and this is the year where we got legal weed. So I mean, you know, it's just something to help with the stress. That's all I'm saying. And I needed that. I don't know if there's any potheads in the Zoom room. Yeah, this isn't a corporate meeting for your job, so we can talk about that kind of stuff here. All right. Some of y'all look like you're about to get a lecture. I love the fact that weed is legal and there's gonna be stores now, because I'll be real with you guys. I'm a functioning pothead. Like, I'm a dad, so I got things to do. And like, I'm always letting my kid down because of my drug dealer. And you can't explain that to a kid. You know what I mean? You can't explain that is the drugs dealer's fault that you were late to the baseball game. You're like, hey, I was at the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot at 2:00. He said 5 minutes. It turned into 45. Here we are. I don't need that anymore. I need to go in at 9 a.m. when they open and be out at 9:05. That's what I need from weed in my life. Before it was all open, I used to get really dumb when I smoke weed and then go out. Like, I guess happened once. I went to a bar very high, and behind the bar there was a sign, and the sign simply read, "Attention staff, DJ equipment is dead. Management." Now, most people would have been like, "Oh, the DJ equipment is broken," but I was so high, I thought DJ equipment was the name of the DJ that works there. And I just thought that was the worst way of telling people that a coworker had just died. You know, I was like, wow, really? Just a flyer? You can't even put a picture of DJ equipment on it? That's horrible. You gonna tell me you don't have one picture of him holding his headphones, just pointing at the cameras? Come on, every DJ has that. If you don't stock photo it, we will know the difference. Just respect to the man. I was so high that I started feeling sorry for DJ equipment. You know, I was like, ooh, was it sudden? Was it cancer? Like, how did it happen to him? Do the ones and twos exude like radiation? What is that? So I was so high that I went up to this girl that worked there, and I was like, excuse me, miss, I don't mean to bother you, but what was DJ equipment's real name? And so confused, this lady just looked at me and went, Toshiba. Yeah. And I was like, oh, a Japanese DJ. That's awesome. And I just like walked away on that joint. That was how I loved it. I don't know about you guys, but like, I like smoking weed because it's the only way I can eat the things in my apartment that I wouldn't eat sober. You know, right? Like anybody like I'm poor, right? So you have like no food, and then like you're hungry, so you take a little bit of weed and you open up your fridge. You're like, wait a minute, I got lettuce, ketchup, and Cheerios. Well, I'm making a salad. You know what I mean? Like I've been meaning to eat healthier. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, that's what's going on. My life is crazy right now, so I need weed to relax. Jay was talking about like ice finding me and stuff like that. I talk a lot about my undocumented situation. I'm still like in like my status is kind of wonky right now, so I'm in that whole, you know, John kind of thing. So it's crazy. I've been dealing with that since I was 6 years old, you know. And when you grow up like that, you know, being deported, it's a real daily fear. But the problem in my house was that my mom used that shit like it was the boogeyman, just to get me to do things she wanted all the time. Isn't that horrible to scare your own babies with ice? Like, you shouldn't do that. You should be a good mother. Yo, but this lady was so Latina about it that she tried to scare me with ice for any reason, no matter how small and insignificant it was. It was horrible. Like, I'd be leaving the house and she'd be like, hey, Mira, it's cold. Take a sweater. And I'd be like, man, I don't want a sweater. She's like, oh, you don't want a sweater. Sit down. Let me tell you what's going to happen to you. And then she started with the ghost story. She's like, okay, you're going to be outside. It's going to start getting cold. You're going to start feeling sick. You're going to cough. You're going to faint.
You've both be casting at the same time, so you've got to start.
I'm hearing a whole conversation during this. Can somebody make
Somebody with a British accent. Can you?
You sound lovely. So sign up for the class. The link is in the chat, and you can learn from Che on your own time. But you're bombing right now.
Thank you. Sorry about that. This thing is so so finite that that was messing up the whole. Yeah. Oh man, my energy was flowing, baby. My energy was flowing. Y'all feel me through there? Like I was coming at you. I was coming at you.
They'll feel you.
So here we go. Back to the story. There I am. My mom's like, okay, you're gonna be outside. It's gonna start getting cold. You're gonna start feeling sick. You're gonna cough. You're gonna faint. Somebody's gonna come. Somebody's gonna call 911. They're gonna be like, Ayuda, this kid fainted. They're gonna call an ambulance. They're gonna take you to the hospital. At the hospital, they're gonna ask you for your social security number. And I'm like, what? She's like, exactly. You're gonna get deported. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then she hit me with my favorite line, which was this. And don't call me if you get deported. Who am I gonna call, lady? You're the only person I know in this country. Like, isn't that cold? Like, to be real with you guys, I almost wanted to get picked up by ICE just to hear that conversation between my mom and ICE. Just for them to be like, we got your baby. And for her to be like, does he have a sweater? And like, hold on. No, he doesn't. He's not my kid. Click. And it just like, that's it. Like, just, she's like, I told him what to do. Like, that's how she is. My mom is tough. Like, my mom, my whole life, other than yelling at me about ICE, every time I did something wrong, my mom would yell the same thing. Seriously, every time I did something wrong, my mom would look at me right in the eyes and she would say, as soon as you turn 18, you get the fuck out of this house. I cannot wait till you turn 18 so I can legally kick you the fuck out of this house. I don't know about you guys, but I was the most stressed out 6-year-old in the playground. Like,
Is
you
this
know,
your
my
first
friends,
guy job? Are you still listening?
That lovely New Zealand accent keeps popping up here. I wish I could locate them. I'd fix it for good.
It's all right.
Call ICE.
Call ICE. Let me just take the mask. Okay. Right. So my mom would be like, as soon as you're 18, get the fuck out of the house. I swear to God, like I was the most stressed out 6 on the playground. Like anytime me and my friends would be in school talking about what we saving up our allowance for, my friends would be like, oh, we're saving up for video games. What are you saving up for, Che? I was like, an apartment. Do you understand? Don't say you can't keep spending your money on Pokemon cards. It ain't gonna pay off like that, all right? Like, I must have been the only kid who sent letters to Santa with things from Ashley Furniture Store. Like, I was just wondering how like the layover effect works at the North Pole. Like, can you dump this all at 18 or does it have to be in increments? Like, I didn't know how it worked, but you know, I needed some furniture. Like, my mom was so serious about 18 being the cutoff to the point that every year on my birthday, my mom would make me a cake. And on that cake, she put candles. But the candles never added up to how old I was, but they added up to how many years were left. Before she could legally kick me the fuck out of the house. You understand how scary that is? You understand how sad and scary that is on your 15th birthday, just seeing a number 3 candle on your cake? I didn't even say my name, it just said soon, dot. Like, all right, you guys ready to get the show moving along and just see some of your friends and family? All right.
Woo!
Look, while I'm doing this, I love the engagement and, you know, there's some chatter, we're figuring it out, great. But, you know, for all your friends and family, please, let's try and keep this noise to a minimum. This stuff is nerve-wracking. And if, you know, if they can't get their stuff out, it's gonna rattle their nerves. And I want them to be able just to get their words out, all right? So whoever's chopping letters or something or chopping up her body, can you fucking chill? Can you chill, Dexter? All right? We know the new season's coming up, but please, relax. All right. Are you guys ready for your next comedian? We got some great comments. We got musical acts. We got more information about the class. All right, come on. Give me some round of applause. You guys ready for your next comic? Oh my gosh. I have to say this about this first comic. This young man came in with such spunk and charisma and originality that it was been a pleasure to help him work on his act. I feel like I haven't done anything to help him develop his character. He's already there. He just needs a little help with his, you know, his fine tuning. I was glad to do that for him. Keep it going for your next comic, Kyle from work. Keep it going for him.
Let's go, Kyle.
All right. Thank you, Jay. That was the sweetest thing. Hi, everyone. I am Kyle from work. I'm getting old, man. I feel it. I feel it. I'm turning 25 this year. Oh, you with me here. Because I know you don't think that's old, but I got back pain and I got to wear glasses to watch porn. It's downhill from here. And I've accepted that, you know? Like, I can't say new slang at 25. Like, you try to say new slang at 25, the kids look at you like you try to say BTS sucks. I don't think that. I like K-pop, obviously, you know? Like, I'm coming to terms with lit being the last cool thing I get to say, you know, but it's not even that cool anymore. It used to be like, oh, Kyle, dude, I'm rolling so hard, let's drop another pill, lit. But now it's like, hey, Kyle, I heard they got Trulies at Costco. Lit. You know, things just aren't the same. Things aren't the same, man. You know what cool thing I get to say now? I get to sign my emails saying, awesome. That's great to hear. Have a wonderful weekend. And it kills me a little bit every time. You know, things aren't the same, right? Things aren't the same. Not like drinking's not the same. I can't drink like I used to. I can't drink like Kyle from school. Like, monster. Kyle from school drank for no reason. At 25, I got a reason, you know? But the reason was I thought they would get more laughs, son. Like, what was I gonna say? Let's go back to that. Let's go back to young me. Let's go back to young you. You know, close your eyes, picture yourself. You still got dreams. Your knees don't hurt yet. And you're going to that bar where no one's ever carded you in life. And for us in the Bay Area, California, we call that place Dave and Buster's. Now, you don't believe me. If you don't know what Dave and Buster's is, what it is it's a sports bar, it's an arcade, and on Wednesday nights, they bring in a DJ, shout out DJ Asthmatic. They bring in a DJ and DJ equipment for that matter, but they bring in a DJ, they bring in a DJ, it's half off drinks and half off games. Plus, we're in the Bay Area, so like we have a field power bonus. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wants to claim the Bay Area. Everyone thinks Bay Area is where the party's at, you know? When you think Bay Area, you immediately think Oakland. Oakland's where the culture is. That's where all the music is, all the food, all the big twerking booties going like this. I love Oakland. Hey. Dude. But I live about an hour south from there. It's San Jose. We're not as cool, but we still claim Bay Area. It's a whole big thing. But our D&B is so lit that people make that drive to party with us, man. Our D&B is so lit. And you know what I love about our D&B is when people show up, they show up. Like, I got a friend, she hit me up, she was like, Kyle, I'm going to D&B for the first time, man. Like, I don't know what to wear. I don't know what to wear. I got Gucci slides, a leather shirt, and my nipple showing. Is that cool? That is encouraged. You go do that. I'm coming up on time, so I'm gonna try to skip forward. What do I get it? Oh no, you go to D&B and it's noise, man. Do you remember ambient bar chatter? Just people having miscellaneous happy conversations. There's a couple in the corner fighting, but you're not a part of it, so you're just watching and laughing, drink in hand. I miss that. And it's an arcade. D&B is an arcade, so there's lights, blinking colors everywhere, and the floor is not sticky. Yet. The floor is not sticky yet. It's D&B. It's gonna get there at one point. That's my time. I'm coming up on 5 minutes. If I could have a few more seconds of your time. Thank you so much, Off My Comedy School. Thank you so much, Shay. I have learned so much from this. Support small business, support Black business, support Asian business. Go find a therapist if you need to. Thank you so much. I am Kyle. Have a wonderful week.
Let's go, Kyle.
Pleasure.
Kyle.
Baby.
Man, that was our first comic. That was great, Kyle. Great job, man. It was great seeing you.
Thank you.
We're having a good momentum, so we're gonna keep it going. This next comic. Somebody's making dinner and getting angry. Okay, so we're gonna keep it moving. Our next comic, seriously, has just shown amazing writing skills that everyone in class has been just blown away by, and you're gonna see what we mean. Keep it going for the next comic, Tristan Webster. Keep it going for Tristan.
Hey everybody. So I
How is that? I have to follow a 25-year-old who's claiming that he's old. I'm pretty sure they put me on at this time so I can go to bed. I don't know. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. I know there's people from all around the world. So do any of you guys have friends that have like spent a lot of time traveling during the pandemic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't they the worst? Yeah, like they're just posting their pictures on Instagram, like rubbing the whole thing in your face. Man, given the heightened risk of COVID exposure, fortunately, it's like the only thing that they're rubbing in your face. I feel uncomfortable stepping into the grocery store. So the idea of getting on a plane and traveling during the pandemic, it just absolutely terrifies me. And that is why this next part is not going to make any sense to you guys at all. But I recently got back from a 4-week trip to Australia. Things they move at a different pace over there. It took me and my family 4 weeks to have a 2-week vacation. You get off the plane, they lock you up in a hotel room for 2 whole weeks, and it's sort of like they've forgotten when we're no longer in those colonial days. When I think about it, though, it's really a small price to pay for COVID freedom. But looking around at my friends who are getting the vaccine now, I'd take like a jab in the arm and 2 days of cold sweats any day. So after being released back into the community, I got some bad news. As if 2020 hasn't already taken enough from me, I discovered that I now have an accent here and there. Now, in Australia, an accent's like a minor inconvenience, a bit like COVID restrictions here. Like most people take notice of it for a while, but they get bored and then they move on. But having an accent in this country, it can be really hard. Just because you sound like a little bit different, people panic, right? And I assure you, some of you guys are probably like freaking out right now. And if you don't believe me, hit what is the shortcut? Alt F2, switch to gallery view and have a look around. Someone is panicking right now. I'm pretty sure. I once needed an interpreter in order to order a Coke. And to this day, I don't think that he said it any differently to the way that I do. So my wife and I, we came back without our kids. We didn't forget them. We just left them there so that they can be happy. I mean, you can laugh, it's true. So I miss them every day. And so since I've gotten back, I've had an awful lot of time on my hands. And so I actually found myself talking to my fish the other day. And there you go. They don't talk back, but someone does. So they aren't great conversationalists, but it did strike me after a little while that they have a richer social life than I do. I'm kind of envious of them, actually. So their schooling has not been interrupted at all. Here I was thinking I might have forgotten how to do a dad joke, but and when they're introduced to a new environment, they get to acclimatize safely in a plastic bubble, which is like perfect for the COVID world that we live in. They also live in this magical world where food appears from the sky. It's kind of like a supply drop in drought-ravaged Africa, or like some utopian future where Uber Eats delivers food via drone, which now that I say out loud, sounds a little fishy to me. A lot of couples that I know have gotten pregnant or had kids during the pandemic, and there are going to be so many COVID babies, not me. The ultimate form of birth control is being locked in a house with 2 kids for the better part of the year. I better go back and collect mine at some point, or else we might end up with some kind of happy accident. My fish, on the other hand, they're acting like childless couples 2 weeks into lockdown, carefree, rampant sex, popping out babies like it's nobody's business. I ended up with so many fish babies, it started to become a problem. And so my other fish were getting sick. Now, I'm not proud of this part, but I actually went out and I bought a fish that would eat the babies. His name is Ian. Not his fault, it's just his nature. The guy at the pet store told me that Ian was semi-aggressive. Now, if eating innocent children is semi-aggressive on the spectrum, then me at my worst is like hyper-placid or something. A little part of me wants to go out buy an aggressive fish just to see what level of destruction that might cause in my fish tank. So on that note, that's my time. Thank you to everyone here, there, everywhere for coming out. Really appreciate it.
Keep it going for Tristan.
Yeah.
Yes, Tristan.
Always love that dad fish joke. It was great. We're gonna keep the show moving right along. Our next comic, fantastic storyteller, has just been a delight every time we hear one of her stories, and she's here to present one of those great ones today. Keep it going for Katie Hewko-Dykes. Keep it going for Katie.
Yeah, Katie!
Thank you. So glad that Tristan could join us for that kidnap that he's in. So by a show of hands, does anyone here else use food as a maladaptive coping mechanism?
Yes.
Yes.
Tight, me too, like constantly. And I guess what I'm gonna do is take this time to tell you my favorite story of how I let that really embarrass me one time. So about like 6.5 years ago, I was having a really rough time. I had just got out of a 10-year relationship. I moved back in with my parents at the age of 27, which, believe it or not, is not the best opening line for when you're back on the dating scene for the first time since you're 16. So I was working a shit job, making like terrible money, which then caused me to get a second job, shit job, making also terrible money. And this particular story takes place on a night after I did one of those bartending shifts. And it was just like, for some reason, that night just hit me way differently. Like, everyone I worked with was an asshole. All the customers that were coming in were assholes. No one. Yeah, you're right. All I wanted to do was drown my sorrows in like the best way that a big girl, like deep into depression, knew how, and that was with a chocolate milkshake. But I'm thinking like that late, where am I going to get a chocolate milkshake that hit that's just going to rock me gently to sleep? And so I'm from Philadelphia to New Jersey, which is like already the most shameful drive you can do. It might as well say, "Welcome to New Jersey, enjoy your meth run on the state sign." I mean, you're going from Philadelphia, home of like famous fictional characters like Gritty and Rocky, to New Jersey, which is home of such fictional characters like Chris Christie's Integrity. Failure, you know, like you're already a loss. It's like going from drinking PBR to getting kicked in the nuts. It was bad, but then it got way worse. So the only place that I can think of that has my sweet chalky milkshake fix is the 24-hour McDonald's on Route 130 heading back to my parents' house in Delran, New Jersey. And that's where I'm getting my chocolate milkshake tonight. So I pull up to those warm, welcoming, like giant arches. It's just like, it's two warm, welcoming arms just ready to wrap me up in obesity. So it's around 2 a.m. and I'm prepared to order my nightcap. And I'm the only one in this drive-through. And so I pull up, again, the only one in this drive-through. And I just sat there for a moment at the giant menu where you place your order, and I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting for a few seconds for someone to, you know, pleasantly greet me, "Welcome to McDonald's," and there's nothing there. So I, being the people pleaser that I am, I lean in very sweetly, "Hello," in my "milkshake please" voice. And like after like probably like the longest 3 seconds of my life, my tone changes entirely. "Hello." And so finally I get a response from what must have been like transmitting from somewhere in like a drain pipe in Camden. Like a creature croaks out to me, "What do you want?" Okay, yeah, sure. Can I just have a chocolate milkshake? And again, there's no response. You got to be kidding me. A chocolate milkshake. Again, no answer. So I bring back the old favorite. "Hello, I want a chocolate milkshake." Already having, like, as you can tell, I'm already having a really shitty night, and it's just like I'm on my last nerve. So you can imagine how mentally I went from Philadelphia to New Jersey real fast when this absolute mutant working the graveyard shift at McDonald's in New Jersey on the other end has the audacity to finally reply, why? Yeah, I fucking lose it. Gloves are off. I'm sorry, why? You're asking me why? Oh, I don't know. I'm sleeping in my childhood bedroom at my parents' house trying to masturbate quietly. My ex-fiance just changed the fucking Netflix password on me, so now I'll definitely never learn how Scrubs end. I'm working 2 jobs. Why would people get mad if I don't make fucking beer right? Like, dude, I'm sorry. I don't make Coors Light. Maybe it tastes like shit because it's shit. And I come to McDonald's at 2 a.m. just to get a fucking chocolate milkshake. And you asshole who can't even swing working a daytime shift at a McDonald's. Fucking gall to ask me why I, a paying customer, want a chocolate milkshake. I don't know, man. I just fucking want one. Right? It felt good. It felt hard. It felt great. And it's going to be even better because not only did I get to get all that out, but I'm getting a chocolate milkshake. So I just sit there vindicating and awaiting this peasant's humble and apologetic response. And after a moment, I'm just sitting there like just waiting. And a response finally comes. Ma'am, I said size.
Awesome.
I said medium, and I didn't make eye contact. I lifted $5. I didn't wait for my change. I took my milkshake and I sped out onto that now even more somehow shameful New Jersey highway, and I never went back to that McDonald's again after midnight on a Thursday. Thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you.
Oh my
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. That's my time.
Okay.
Yeah, Katie.
Right.
That was fantastic. I did that. I was kidding. I made that happen. So you were amazing. So proud. Oh, that was great. Yeah, just love that story. We're gonna bring up someone special in comedy in the Philly scene. Someone special to me, a good friend of mine. This individual, amazing musical comedy. So let's give it up for the amazing work of Jillian Markowitz. Keep it going for Jillian.
Thank you. I don't know. Everyone is so funny. I'm like, I don't think I should. I actually do this, and I'm like, I'm too nervous to go now. Everyone's too good. I'm gonna be straight up. That story really resonated because I ordered a McFlurry from Grubhub last week. That's like a low point, you know? Like, that's when you know you're not okay. It's not like McDonald's isn't within walking distance. But I had to take I had to be like, no, I am committing to feeling like shit today. That is where we're at. But no, I'm okay. I'm complaining, but I'm actually doing good. Like, I don't like not performing for like live audiences, so I set up some friends here. There's like a cat and some stuffies. I feel good. I feel strong. I'm having a good quarantine. Guess what I did?
What?
Threw my ex out on his ass.
Woo!
Thank you. I deserve it. Threw him out. I had to. He broke my cardinal rule. Okay, my cardinal rule is do not ever break up with me.
Good way.
One rule. And a lot of people are like, Jill, like, just take some time, date yourself, you know, just date yourself. And I would, but unfortunately I no longer date comedians. Sorry, everyone. after the breakup, and it's kind of embarrassing. It's like a Star Wars song, and the references date me, but someone has to, right? I can tell a dad joke too. I actually need an audience volunteer to choose the hairy man in the back. Thank you. Thank you. Give it up for Chewbacca, please. I'm gonna be honest, this is the most embarrassed I've ever been in my entire life. We are Attack of the Tones. And this is our song, Alderaan Places. That I was the cutest girl you'd seen, from Dagobah to Hoth to Tatooine. And maybe that was true before the dark side got to you, before you forced your way into my heart. Soon I knew that things were going south. Our ship had landed in the space worm's mouth. I feel like such a dope for calling you my only hope. All the feelings I thought we'd unearthed, the whole time you were busy hurting nerves. Why don't you freeze me in carbonite so I don't have to feel anymore? I'm not your Leia, I don't want to keep fighting this war. You took your Death Star and aimed it at my heart. Now I hurtle boundless through a big vacuous nothing while you strive to pull your head out of your ass. Huh? I've had a hard time doing anything other than crisis. You walked out on our lovers' alliance. I asked you to be mine, you said you would try. I said do or do not, you said goodbye.
Oh.
You said you knew I loved you, so I'm simply wondering how can you open up the door and kick me out of your Millennium Falcon? How can you love the one you're with when your Jedi becomes a Sith? Why don't you freeze me in carbonite so I don't have to feel anymore? This pain is so much greater than my heart can endure. That star and aimed it at my heart. But don't think you destroyed my heart. My passion will become more powerful than you can imagine. Thank you, I'm so sorry.
Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
Wow, what nice, forgiving, wonderful people you all are.
Adorable! We love you!
That was wonderful.
Okay.
And we don't even know you!
So I know it sounded like things were like bitter between me and my ex, but they're not. We're good. Like, in fact, we actually just attended like a distanced funeral together. I didn't technically know his grandmother, but watching him cry is like the only thing that gets me off anymore. And it's crazy, we're still so connected, you know, like he's crying, but I'm getting wet.
Paradox.
Actual, yeah. So I wrote this song just to prove, I don't really remember how it goes, but I wrote it just to prove I'm not being petty, and it's for him, and it's called I Want You to Be Happy. And if I forget it in the middle, we'll just move on.
As you should.
I love this. Yeah. Got like a cheerleader. Amazing. I really need this. I want you to be happy. As long as you're slightly less happy than me, I wish you joy at every turn. I hope your failures help you learn. through like a lot. Don't be threatened. Slightly smaller pot, cause you'll never catch up. Not trying to be petty or smug, but we all know who won the breakup. It was no hard feelings. That's all I got for you. Thank you. Let's hear it for your host, Shay. One of my favorites.
Hey, keep it going for Jillian.
Yes.
Always enjoy someone who can slap on a ukulele. Love it. All right. We're gonna keep it going with our next. We're gonna keep the show going. We got 3 comics left, and the next comic has been, just as a fellow immigrant, it's been a pleasure to have her in class and see her perspective of the whole system that we're both under. But you're really gonna love her. Please keep it going for Emilia Maia. Keep it going for Emilia.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Woo!
Well, good night, good evening to all of you. I'm sure you're all feeling very fantastic. I do feel today. I'm glad I'm at the end of this journey. So thank you for all the people that have been helping me. But you might wonder why I know that all of you are really feeling fantastic, but I know why. One of the reasons is because you were just born in the United States. You know, I learned pretty quickly when I came to the US that everybody here feels fantastic, feels great. Life is just amazing. And that was quite, was very impressive for me, coming from another country where we couldn't stop complaining all the time. So, you know, when I came here and asking these questions, just a very simple question, hi, how are you? You know, I was expecting to see people stop and complain, but no, they would not stop and just say, fantastic, and they would move on. And I would ask, hey, hi, how are you? Great, hi, how are you? Fantastic. And the worst I got was good. So I thought to me, no wonder that everybody wants to come to the US. Who would not want to come to the US just to feel fantastic, great, good every single day? And you know, it was really, really impressive. I was so surprised with that. And then suddenly I felt mad. I felt really mad. I felt enraged with the audacity of Americans to be happy all the time. You know, you're not supposed to be happy all the time. I'm supposed to be happy all the time because it took me a lot of work and time to come to the United States. And honestly, you only had to be born here to feel happy. And that doesn't make any sense to me. You know, I was really mad. But there was more to it, you know. I kind of was able to overcome that and accept that, well, that's life here. They were lucky, they were born here, and that's why we want to come here. So let's just enjoy the happiness. But then I also found out they were happy being busy. You know, that's quite a new notion for me. Happiness and being busy at work. You see, in Portugal, for you to be happy, you have to take a couple of days off just to relax and then feel happy. Here, people really love working. And so it was quite another notion. It was quite another notion for me. How in the world you're happy and fantastic, and at the same time, you're just busy talking and wanted to be heard all the time. Like there was no stop, no moment to really relax. And then you know, it was really hard for me to understand all of these, especially some of the very simple and communications, right? So I came here to work and I was really happy to be here working. And then one day my boss came to me and she asked me to set up a really urgent meeting, very urgent, because everything is urgent in the US, should everything be quickly. And so I said, okay, I'll do it. I was so happy to be useful. So she said, okay, set up a meeting with the brand team. It's about 20 people and we need this as soon as possible. Okay, I'll do it. I was feeling fantastic again, very productive. You know, I thought that would be an easy, pretty doable thing, but not in America. You know, setting up in a meeting in America is quite an ordeal. It's not a simple task. So, you have to set up, at least at the time, about 18 years ago, you had to set up a meeting phases. The first phase was you needed to find out whether people were going to come in person or they were going to come to call in. I mean, this phase is gone today because it's pandemic, everybody would be calling in. But at the time, there was a phase in that. Then you have to call a number to find a room. But you have to think that, because people are so happy and so busy, there are no rooms available. So you have to negotiate for a room. That takes time. And then you have to call another number to do a call in for the phone for their meeting. And it goes then goes on. So I was very happy that I was able to get it done. Okay. I was feeling fantastic. I got my big project, setting up a meeting for 20 people in the United States of America. Boy, that was really fantastic for me. I was all excited. I went to my boss and said, hey, it's all done. Really happy that I had it done. And then she looks at me and she goes, you know what? I just got a call from I don't know who. Can you push back the meeting? And I was like, what? In my mind, I wanted to scream. It took me 2 weeks to schedule this meeting. How am I going to push back the meeting? I can't. Hell no, I'm not going to do it. So I turned to her and said, I really would love to do that for you. I'm so fantastic, so happy, so amazing to be in the United States. You don't know how much hard I worked to come here, but I really cannot do it because it took me 2 weeks to figure out this meeting and there are no rooms. And she looks at me and she goes, what's the matter with you? Just push it back. I said, I can't push it back. He says, it's next week. I can't push it back. Just do it next month. What is the problem? And I was like, what? What do you mean? Let's take a step back. You mean to push back or to push forward? I mean, it was very simple. Couldn't she just tell me, just push forward? Why did you push it back? And there was an amazing moment for me to understand how in the United States you can communicate with the rest of the world if you are always upside down, You say a bad bar, you say stop and walk. I say stop and walk and talk, walk and have fun, something different. And it was an amazing experience to come to the United States. So I know you're all feeling fantastic because that's the way we were born and wired to feel fantastic. I have a lot of respect for that. But I also enjoy being sad and crying once in a while. So you can knock on 2038 and have fun with me crying and drinking.
Keep it going for me. That was fantastic. I loved it. Oh my gosh, that was great. We have one more comic and then we have another performance by Jillian Markowitz. So you guys ready for your final student, you guys ready for your final comic?
Woo, yeah!
Yeah.
Here we go. This guy has been great, coming every week with new stuff and delivering, and it's just been a lot of fun to watch him do his thing. So, and you guys are gonna get to now. Please keep it going for Sam Rubin.
Hey, I know that guy. I know that guy.
Hey, y'all. I don't know if you know this, but there's a pandemic out there. And it's been tough. I'm unemployed. A lot of people are unemployed. They say rate what you know. So tonight I'll be talking about a lot of the things I think a lot of us are going through. So a deep sense of social connection and a real faith in our government. Not gonna lie, it has been kind of nice to be unemployed. It's been really, really cool to just watch my friends get the time to get to those things they've been really putting off. I've got one friend bought a French cookbook. His pastries are, I'm so excited. I have another friend, oil painting, really cool. It's been a dream of his. His nudes, self nudes, bathroom self nudes. They're getting really good. It's just tough because I'm in my bed every day Googling, do I have clinical depression? Spoiler alert, if you have to ask, you do. The real thing is, I don't even know why I need to ask. I'm still wearing my pajamas and all I've eaten is Cooler Ranch Doritos all day, so. A lot of people have looked for crutches to get through this pandemic, to kind of limp through, finish this off. It was really cool. At the beginning of the pandemic, animal shelters didn't have any more dogs to give out. People were so desperate for anything that would pay attention to them now that they can't just go to the bar. It's, you know, it's, but what I want to know is what happens when this is over. You know, do you think that that random guy who got a dog just because he can't go to Long Island night is gonna be like, oh no guys, I can't come out for cocktails right now. You know, Jiggy gets really nervous and anxious when I leave him alone. Fuck no! He's going out! He's going out! All he wants to do is go back to the bar. The whole reason he has a dog is to forget about the bar. Oh man, it's gonna be like walking through Center City. It's gonna be like one of those National Geographic videos with the moose and the wolves. But I'm the wolf. Sorry, I'm the wolf, and that dog in Rittenhouse Square, that's the moose. And it's just coming at me like, where are my table scraps? Where are my table scraps? Yeah, it's been tough in the pandemic. It's been tough. Our government has been handling things really, really, really poorly. You know how I know? They're giving 30, healthy, unemployed. There are 0 reasons I should be getting vaccinated. Had my first dose last week. Yeah. Very exciting. Thank you. Just a quick reminder that the universe does in fact not care about you. You know, so a lot of people ask me, they're like, oh my God, how did you get the vaccine? Because here in Philly, you know, things are a catastrophe. And, you know, oh my God, are you a healthcare worker? Do you have a medical condition? Are you a teacher? Me, no, it was clerical error. But I'm not gonna lie, there have been some real bright spots in this pandemic, things that have really kept me going when it's tough. And one of my top ones, this might surprise you, Ted Cruz. I love Ted Cruz. You know what I love about Ted Cruz? There's absolutely nothing likable about Ted Cruz. Marco Rubio, he's short. He has to wear platform shoes. You kind of feel bad for him. He's a human being. Ted Cruz, totally unredeemable. Ted Cruz would be in charge of the Republican Party right now if it wasn't for the fact that every single other Republican also hates Ted Cruz. At this point, I'm pretty sure Ted Cruz hates Ted Cruz. And another real bright spot in the pandemic is I got to see a really close friend of mine who I don't normally get to see. Logistics lined up, COVID tests, all that kind of stuff. And it was really great. I got to interact with strangers, everyone. I don't know if you've done that in a while, but it's a wild time. And you know, I'm breaking up with my girlfriend right now. It's tough. So I'm just like desperate for human interaction, for approval, for people to like me. And I'm talking to one of my friend's roommates, and you know, I make a joke, and he responds by literally and asks me to tell her more about that and tell her more about what I just meant in that statement. And I you know, it's been a while since I've interacted with strangers, so the best I have is to just turn to her and say, that was a joke. Thanks all. Thanks so much for coming out tonight.
Hey, Sam. Keep it going for Sam and Katie and Pam and Kyle and everybody else. That was our class. We're not done yet. We got two things before we get you guys out of here. We have a quick performance by Jillian again. And after that, we just got some things that we want to share with you guys before we end. But on that note, let's keep it going one more time for the very funny and the very talented Jillian Markowitz. Keep it going for Jillian.
Yeah. Empire Strikes Back.
That was so fun. Did you say Vampire Strikes Back? That's so funny. I like how Che said we got a quick performance. That was like a message to me. Like, we want you to get the fuck out of here. Everyone's tired. You say no, but I heard between the lines. No, I agree with Sam. I think there are some good parts of unemployment. Like, I have really bad social anxiety, and I used to just like lay awake at night replaying every single embarrassing interaction I ever had, and now I don't interact with anybody. I felt like my eyes were screaming. They're not tears. No, it's fine. So I got dumped at the beginning of quarantine, and last week I decided it was time to take a boyfriend. Took one. And Pam, I feel ya, because everyone thinks that I made him up. Because his name is Jack, and my name is Jill. Like, he literally sounds like I know. His name is Jack McMahon. Like, what's your boyfriend's name, Jill? Jack. Jack McMahon. Jack McReal boyfriend. Totally exists. And I feel like being in a new relationship always brings a lot of like intimacy stuff to the surface. So I wrote a song just about this one's a little bit more earnest. It's just about my personal fears of intimacy. It's called If I Fart While We're Spooning. If I fart while we're spooning, will you walk out the door? If I fart while we're spooning, will you not love me anymore? Is it true that I could lose your lovin' just because of one stupid Dutch oven? Let me go to Aspen, yeah, you said to pack my skis. Now is that all over just because I cut the cheese? Sorry, that line is so stupid. I kept in my love for you, but now those hopes are dashed. Because I also can't contain the methane in my ass. Will you forget the songs I wrote you upon your engraved watch? The moment we are spooning and I'm farting on your crotch. Will my rectal thunder leave the two of us asunder? If I give you my trust, will it take more than one crop dust before my sphincter seals are fake? Or can I let my bowels deflate when I'm with you? Will you love me when I'm farting while we spoon? I just want to play one more. I want to end on this bad boy. So I started writing comedy songs a few years ago, and shortly after I started writing them, I realized the things that I was writing about were like coming to fruition in my life. So I would write about a bad breakup while I was single, and then like 2 years later, I would go through a breakup that took the exact trajectory outlined in my song, or I would write about an unrequited love situation, and then I would end up in an unrequited love situation. So once I realized that all of my songs were coming true in my life, I felt like there was only one song left to write, and this is it. All my dreams came true. If you're not living your best life, wow, that must really suck for you. High school crush regrets his behavior. I can orgasm on command. I'm one of those girls who can come at the gym. I'm so skinny my friends are concerned, but it's actually thinly veiled jealousy. If you're not living your best life, wow, that must really suck for you. Everybody wants to date me and they also want to fuck me, but they're still cool with just being friends as long as that is what I want. They are totally happy with that, so it's not like I'm leading them on. My dreams came true. If you're not living your best life, wow, that must really suck for you. My parents support all of my life choices. They brag about me to their friends. They even ask if I'm eating enough because seriously, I'm like really skinny. If you're not living your best life, wow, that must really suck for you. I am making so much money just singing and doing comedy. The whole community is very supportive. They all respect me and believe that I've earned this. They retweet me all the time. If you're not living your best life, wow, that must really suck for you. There is no more famine in Yemen, North Korea, and South Korea. Now ISIS developed their own little commune. They aren't going to hurt anyone anymore. And oh my god, I'm still so skinny. Guys, so much. I cannot emphasize enough how incredible everybody was tonight. I'm absolutely blown away. I can't believe that you guys are new to comedy. So, yeah. Bye.
Woo! Yeah! Everybody give it love.
Keep it going for Jillian and everybody else you guys saw tonight. That was an awesome show. On a personal note, I want to thank everybody, all the students for sticking out the 6 weeks and putting in the work. You were amazing in the show. Thank you so much for, for doing that and taking this class. And I have another class starting next Friday. It goes from 8 to 10 p.m., 6 weeks. So if you guys like what you saw and you wanted to try for yourselves, think about joining the class. And on that note, I'm going to pass it over to Jay Ellis to close out the show. Thank you guys. That was me. Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Awesome. Yo, thank you, Jay, for teaching another wonderful installment of Stand Up 101 Rising Stars. And thank you to all of you for coming to support this amazing class, y'all. Like, come on, give them another round of applause, everybody. Woo! And give Che another round of applause for being the dope human he is and fostering such a great environment for these young comedians to stand up, literally. And give Christine Olivas a round of applause for fostering an amazing community for us to gather in virtually and do comedy together. And with that said, I would like to announce you all the virtual stand-up class of Off Mic Comedy's Rising Stars, Winter 2021. Give it up for yourselves, everybody. Congratulations. Blom, 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 blom. All right, everyone. With that being said, we have some awesome upcoming classes at Off Mic Comedy School. Please check the website offmiccomedyschool.com for our virtual offerings coming up for this spring. We also have a few more coming up for the winter. Chase is one of them. And we have youth offerings coming up in the spring, of which I teach the kids because I'm the dependable kind of adult without a job or a life who smokes weed that should be molding the future. So please send your kiddos if you enjoy that as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. And please stick around for the next installment of Che's Rising Comedy Star Stand-Up 101 class that will be coming to you this winter 2.0, and the show will be later this spring. So stick around. Thank you all, and have a beautiful evening. Give yourselves some love.
All right.
Woo. Have a great night, y'all.
Thank you, everyone.
You.